You're the most amazing creation on the planet. You are ready to regain your mental profit. We're fighting this war for our brain.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Hey, YouTube. Hello, Instagram. Good to see you. Haven't been here in a while.
Start with this. Start with
this.
I'm enough. You just rewired your brain.
Music down.
I choose joy.
I choose joy. You just rewired your brain. Hey, today's conversation, I'm going to ask you, are you thinking you're burned out? Or maybe you're just over conditioned. That's the challenge. All too often, you just tried and tried and tried, and here's what's happening. You're not burned out. You're just over conditioned. You're tired of pretending. Maybe, just maybe, you're not exhausted from doing too much. Maybe you're exhausted from being someone you're not. Oh, snap. Because here's the something nobody says out loud. Burned out isn't always overworked. Burned out isn't always overworked. Sometimes it's overperformance. From performing a life all day, that's soul crushing. So today's session of awesomeness is about not fixing anything. We're going to remove some things. Remember, I've kind of coined the phrase personal undevelopment. We're going to pull away some things. We're going to take away some things that you've been doing, because I don't think you need more habits. You need more systems, more optimization. Honestly, most high performers don't need more discipline. They need deprogramming. What would happen if you could deprogram some of the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, the conversations? They need subtraction. Because burnout often isn't a capacity problem. God knows you've been doing more. God knows you've been having all of these things run through your day. It's a congruence problem. Your life doesn't match your nature. Right? Think about it. The life you are choosing to live, the life you set the dream for, the life you set the high bar for, the life you set 2026 for. That's who you believe you can be through nature. Your current life doesn't match that. If you're feeling burned out. Oh, and by the way, nature always wins. Always. Try to force a plant to grow in the wrong soil. Right? If it's an alkaline kind of plant and it needs alkaline soil, try planting an alkaline soil in a non-alkaline environment, right? In an acidic soil. It doesn't hustle harder. It doesn't get up earlier. It doesn't make more phone calls. It withers. Yet humans, what do we call it? When we're in the soil, when we're in the environment that's not us, what do we call it? Call it the grind. Who wants to wake up and get in the grind? Who wants to be ground? We call it grind culture. We call it ambition. We call it success. And we are slowly dying inside. So today I want to offer you some questions that might challenge you to think differently, to feel differently. Not tactics, not productivity, not motivation. We're going to ask better questions. If you want better answers, you need better questions. And better questions dismantle this illusion you have about why you're exhausted. And illusions are what exhaust you. So it's not that you're overworked. That's not what's killing you. It's the illusion you're being loyal to. Today, I'm going to give you 10 questions. Hey, good morning, everybody, Instagram. Today, I'm going to give you 10 questions not to answer quickly, to sit with. Because if just one of these questions lands, it could change your entire trajectory. So here's question number one. Hang on to your shower caps. Who would I be if I was impressed by me? Who would I be if nobody was impressed by me? Think about that for a second. These are tough. These are big questions. And for those of you on Instagram, you can go to the YouTube page. You can rewatch this video. It's over there. You can rewatch this here. Strip away the applause. Strip away the praise. Strip away the gold stars. Who would I be if nobody was impressed by me? You know, Maslow said, we talk all the time about, well, don't worry about what they say. If they say negative things, don't let that bother you, right? Maslow said, be independent of the good opinion of other people. Be independent of the good opinion of other people. Who would I be if nobody was impressed? I stripped away the praise, the gold stars, the applause. Who's left? Who's left? The number will shock you. Because here's the thing. There is an amazing and incredible amount of adults, both male and female, an incredible amount of adults who are still 7 years old. Yeah, trying to get somebody to say, I'm proud of you. You're doing awesome. Oh, we need it. It's called recognition. It's called edification. The challenge is we build our careers chasing that sentence. No wonder we're tired. That's not purpose. That's unresolved childhood. So that was question number one. Who would I be if nobody was impressed? Here's question number two. We got 10 of these. These are big. What am I afraid would happen if I slowed down? People say they can't slow down. No, you're afraid to slow down. Because if you slow down, you feel things, right? You feel things. You'll feel doubt. You'll feel loneliness. You'll feel meaningless. So you stay busy. Busyness is a social acceptance of avoidance. If I'm busy, oh, I got too much. I can't. I'm too busy. I got to go. I don't have any free time. I can tell you this, there's not a single second, a single moment of your time that's free. You pay with it with the most precious thing called your life. So nobody has free time. You have time you choose. See, busyness is socially accepted. It's acceptable avoidance. Yet avoidance burns more energy than action ever will. Oh, put that on a t-shirt. Somebody needs to read that. So that's question number two. Question three, do I actually like my life? Or just the image of my life? Do I like my life, or do I like the Instagram version of my life? Do I like the TikTok version of my life? See, when you begin to, one of the things I help people when I mentor people is to take them on a deep introspection, self-introspection. Because here's what I know. Here's what I've known after 4 decades of doing this. The you are seeking is already inside you. It can't be anyplace else. It's covered up. It's hidden. It's shoved into a box. It's shoved into a corner. It gets yelled at if it comes out and makes an appearance. What are you doing? Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? You hear things like that. Do I act like my life? Do I actually like my life, or just the image of my life? Be honest. If you removed Instagram, if you removed your titles, if you removed your rank, if you removed your business title. You removed what people think about you. Would you still choose this life? Or are you maintaining a brand? We got to build our brand. What does your brand say? I'm exhausted, I'm hustling, and I'm broke. What does your brand say? Because maintaining a persona is exhausting. Carl Jung, one of the psychology founders, right? Carl Jung says, he calls it a mask. We're wearing a mask, the persona. And the longer you wear it, the heavier it gets. Until one day you wake up and think, I don't even know who I am anymore. You ever know somebody to say that? Have you ever said that? I don't know what I'm doing. That's not burnout. That's identity loss. So what I help people is find your identity, your true identity, your authentic identity. We use things like NES, neuroenergetic self-sculpting. We use self-talk. We use brain talk. We use neurocompression. Here's question number 4. Where did my definition of success come from? Trace it back. Did you consciously design your levels of success, this and that and this and that? Or has it been handed to you and you go, okay, I'll take that. It's been a buffet of success choices that you never really wanted to make. Or did you inherit it? Did you inherit the success model? Most people inherited it. Here's what your parents said. Your parents said, do this. This will make you successful. We're not those kind of people. You don't do that. This is what you do for success. Right? From school taught you, maybe from capitalism. How about hustle culture? How about grind culture? You know what the challenge is? We never question it. We just chase it. We never question it. We just chase it. Got to go. 10,000 followers. I got to have 100. I got to go viral. We chase this stuff. It's wild. Isn't it wild? It's crazy. And we question what phone people buy for 3 weeks, yet never question the life we're building for the last 40 years, 20 years, 60 years. Question 5. What parts of me did I abandon to become responsible? This one hurts. Maybe you got married young. Maybe you had children early. Maybe someone passed away and you had to take on the responsibility early. I've got some friends who they became the dad of the house, the mom of the house when they were just in their early teens. Now, they didn't know they abandoned it. That was just, you had to step up. You had to step in. Yet years later, there's a part of you that says, I never had that. There's parts of you right now that you've abandoned because of what people have said you should be, what people have said you could be, and all of this is nothing of what you want to be. We all did it. Maybe you used to paint. Maybe you used to write. Maybe you used to go for walks. Maybe you used to do planting, horticulture. Maybe you used to daydream. Maybe you used to be fun and playful. And somewhere along the way, someone said, that's not practical. Why are you doing that? You traded your aliveness for their approval. Oh, snap. You traded your aliveness for their approval. And now you wonder why you feel flat. You didn't grow up. You were amputated. You had this thing cut off. You had this decision. Decision means to cut off. Incision cut in. Decision cut off. You had this incision that said, you had this incision say, you didn't grow up. You're amputated. And of course, you felt incomplete. So that's question 5. What parts of me did I abandon to become this responsible individual, this TikTok version of me, this Instagram version of me? Question number 6. If money were handled, what would I stop doing immediately? We always ask this question. If you got all the money, what would you start doing? My question, right? I like to change the way you look at things. Wayne Dyer said, "In the things you look at change." Wallace D. Waddle says it's not about doing certain things, it's about doing things in a certain way. If money was handled, what would you stop doing? Stop doing immediately. See, this is personal undevelopment. What would you stop doing if money was handled? What would you immediately say? That's off my list. Not someday you would turn it off. Not someday you would stop. Today. Because that gap between what you're doing and what you'd stop doing instantly, that gap is pure friction. And friction is fatigue. Let me say that again. If money was handled, I want you to rewire the synapse in your brain. We may have activated the amygdala. We definitely brought the hippocampus full online. And I want to ask you, if money was handled, first of all, you've got to come up with the concept, the idea that money's handled. Once that is, what would you stop doing immediately? Not what would you start doing? What trips would you take? Where would you go? What food would you eat? What chef would you hire? What would you stop doing immediately? Because what you would stop doing and what you are doing, that gap is friction. And that friction is fatigue. And fatigue is what wears us out. It's what has us conditioned. It's not effort. It's not time. It's friction. Swimming upstream burns more energy than swimming far. It's time for you to go farther. All right, here's question 7. What do I believe? What do I believe? Why do I believe rest must be earned? Ooh, snap. Why do I believe rest must be earned? Think about this conditioning. This is conditioning. We treat rest like a reward, like we must deserve it. Lions rest, children rest, nature rests. Only humans moralize exhaustion. Somehow we decided, if I'm not tired, I'm not worthy. This belief alone creates burnout. Not workload, belief. All right, so that's that question. So why do I believe rest must be earned? Here we go. Here's number 8. What is my body trying to say that I keep overriding with willpower? We talk about willpower, using it for our good, using it to take things to a next level. Do you realize that your willpower is part of a reason you're stuck? Because you have a will, you have a power, you have an identity, and you say, I'm going to stay here. Here, listen carefully. This is where, as a neuroencoding specialist, you have thoughts in your head, it triggers responses in your body. Your body always knows first. Let me say that again. Your body always knows first. Oh man, I got this knot in my gut. I don't know, something I felt about it, right? Makes my skin crawl, right? Your body knows first. Your tight chest, your shallow breathing, your Sunday anxiety, brain fog, yet we try to override it with coffee or podcasts or TikTok scrolling or YouTube searching, or we try to figure out how to get motivated or become more disciplined, discipline is useful. Yet discipline ignores biology. So if your body is saying something and you've disciplined yourself to override what your body is saying, here's a little stretch for you. Here's something that'll make you go, wait, what? If discipline is overriding what your body is telling you, that's self-violence. That's self-violence. And eventually the body wins. The body always wins. Burnout is the body forcing a boundary you refuse to set. Exhaustion, in the hospital, heart attack. Your body is going to set the boundary very clearly because you refuse to take care of you. Question 9. Here's a big one. Who benefits from you staying exhausted? Who benefits? Do your kids benefit with you being exhausted, don't have enough time? Hey, how are you? Good to see you on Instagram. Yeah, discipline ignores biology. When you wake up, if you're tired and exhausted, I've got to go do this. I got to work out. I've got to do the plan. I've got to work till midnight. I've got to do this. And you just becoming more and more and more exhausted, frustrated, aggravated, agitated. We think being disciplined will break the rules. It breaks our body. It's why people get sick. It's why people have colds. It's why people get run down. It's why they get headaches. A headache is your body developing a boundary that says, enough. So, question 9, who benefits from you staying exhausted? This one's a little edgy. I'm going to ask it anyways. Tired people don't question systems. Tired people comply. Right now, there's a system that you're using to create your wealth. And maybe it's the same system you were using last year and last decade and everything else. You have to have this conversation. You have to have this understanding of tired people comply. So what do we do? We have to make sure, we've got to be asking ourselves, the question is on Instagram, what do we do if discipline overrides our body? You got to realize, you got to ask the tough question. Who's making me sick, tired, frustrated, aggravated? Do I need to go to bed earlier? Do I need to turn my phone off? These are simple things. Do I need to hydrate? You've got to set what's called micro agreements with yourself to start taking care of yourself. Those are the things that we do. You've got to start setting micro agreements. You've got to set up your, what I call your success list, your, my mind just went blank, your 500 things you've done well, your evidence file, there it is. You've got to set up your evidence file. You've done so many things that you have forgotten all the good things you've done. And because your mind is wired to push, to go, oh, I did that. Nobody's going to recognize me for what I did. They're going to recognize me for what I'm about to do. You've got to set up your own evidence file. What's 100 things you've done well? Things like graduated 3rd grade, graduated 4th grade, graduated 5th grade, if you made it that far, right? Learned how to drive a car, flew on a plane, went through international customs. All of these things we don't, well, that's not important. I can promise you. Here's what Tony Robbins would say, or Dean Graziosi. Every 4th grader is a hero to a 3rd grader. There's things you've done that you have wiped off your list of awareness that people are like, I don't know how you do it. You're amazing. So that's what happens when we don't pay attention and your body is trying to override you with willpower because you have an identity you want to go after that your body isn't well enough to let you go after it. Silver, how are you over in the foreign east? Good to see you, my love. So question 9, who benefits from me staying exhausted? Tired people comply. Tired people consume. Do you know why TikTok and everything else is so big, so powerful? Is because you watch it while you're it's a distraction. I get it. There's some people who make some great livings on TikTok. Silva Ang is one of those amazing TikTok superstars. She's on my Instagram. I love her tons. So, tired people don't create revolutions. Tired people don't create resolutions. Tired people don't resolve to make the change. Chronic exhaustion isn't just personal, it's cultural. How many of your friends are as tired as you are? If you weren't as tired as your friends, would they kick you out? Sometimes burnout isn't your failure. It's the environment working exactly as designed, which means your recovery might be a rebellion. Do you ever think about if you got healthy, who would, I always ask this question to my students. Hey, listen, we're about to set off on a 12-month journey. We're going to mentor together. My question to you is, who's going to be jealous of your incremental success? Who's going to say, wow, isn't that nice? And you know their tongue is cutting you as they're saying it. Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations, you lost 20 pounds. Who's going to be jealous you're in your new dress? Who's going to be jealous you're driving your new car? Who's going to be jealous that you've paid off a credit card bill? Well, none of my friends. I got news for you, Skippy. It's wired into their DNA. You were just like them. You were just like us. So therefore, they got to find a reason for it's called shame activation. When you do well, listen, if I'm in the powerful profession, I coach and train in the powerful profession of mentors leading mentors, MLM, mentors leading mentors. And sometimes I remember when I would watch somebody come in after me, start after me, and walk across the stage before me, there was a little bit of jealousy. Like, God, I've been here for 2 years. They've been here for 8 months and they did it. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't know if you've ever said that. I have. So this is how the environment is designed, right? Which means recovery might be a rebellion, not a resistance. So question 10, we'll wrap it up. What would enough actually look like for you? Because if you've never defined enough, listen carefully, if you've never defined enough, you've signed up for an endless striving, comparing life. You've signed up for endless striving, endless comparing, endless upgrading. The game has no finish line. When I say enough, it doesn't have to be about money. See, money is never the thing. It's the way you feel when you get the money. Relationship isn't the thing. It's the way you feel. Bob Proctor talks about vibration. $1 million is available to you like that. It's simply a vibration that you're not tuned into. Let me ask you this. If you have a radio in your car, there's a good chance it has the numbers on it, 103.5. Yet if you never take your radio above 100, you're always at 99.9, 89.8, 87.6. You're listening to all of those stations down there, and you can see it's there. You're told it's there. You never tune into the higher vibration, the different vibration, the new frequency. You keep complaining it's not here. That's not true. It's there. It's on the dial. You simply need to tune into it. A game without finish lines, without end zones, are called traps. If the game has no end zone, no, okay, end it here. And here's the challenge. The reason most people don't have an end zone is because then they'd have to start again. What happens anytime the football or the football or the soccer ball goes into the goal? It goes into where the score is measured. They start over. Most people are afraid of starting over after they score because they never want to score, because if they score, they got to reset. restart, retool.
Bonus.
And most don't want to do that. So if you can learn that if you finish this and you got to start new, it's time to get going. So all this to say, here's what I've noticed. The people who look the most burned out are usually the most capable. They're the most disciplined, the most driven. The people who are usually burned out are often more capable than they're showing up. They're the most capable people I've known. They're the most disciplined. They're the most driven, which tells me something. It's not a weakness. It's a misdirection. You're strong. You might just be pushing in the wrong direction. Your strength applied in the wrong direction creates collapse, not progress. So maybe today, it's not about doing more. Maybe today's session of awesomeness is simpler. Remove one thing, remove one obligation, say no to one thing, have one exception. Get rid of one should. Just one. Undo it, take it away, subtraction, because subtraction creates space. And in space, you can have some clarity. And clarity allows, creates, brings to you energy. And that's awesome. So don't hustle today. Don't optimize. Don't fix yourself. Just ask better questions. Let one of them follow you around today. What's a good question? I ask my students every hour to check in and say, did I move closer to my goal or farther away? Ask yourself that. That can take care of all of the 10 questions we just did. Listen, every top of every hour, set an alarm, 60 minutes. Hey, blank, 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 whatever the voice is on your phone, set a 60-minute timer. And when it goes off, you simply ask yourself this question. Did I move closer to my goal or farther away? And your only answer is a yes or a no. Keep it real simple. In 30 seconds, you've just verified, confirmed, decided a new direction, and in 30 seconds, you've decided, you've had an input, you've had one of the biggest inputs you've ever had in the next hour to set your reticular activating system. All of this is going through your hardware. All of this conversation we had this morning is designed inside of your brain. And when you understand your subconscious is what's controlling you, and that you don't necessarily have access to the door to your subconscious, you can go knock on the door. And the way you knock on the door of your subconscious is you start to ask introspective questions. You start to tell your reticular activation system, your RAS, what to look for. I'm choosing to be happy. You use your self-talk. Self-talk knocks on the door of your subconscious. Let that question bother you. Did I move closer to my goals or farther away? Because some discomfort is truth knocking. And truth is lighter than burnout. I promise you, always truth is lighter than burnout. So there you go. There's our conversations. Raw version CO. Love you tons. If you want, reach out. We can have a conversation. DM me. I love you tons. I'm going to go have a conversation with the folks in the Zoom. If you want to learn more about that, you can go to SeanGMurphy.com, get on the email list. I'll see y'all where? Instagram and YouTube. I'll see you all tomorrow morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, more powerhouse questions of awesomeness. Till then, bye for now. And YouTube, I love you tons. We will see you where?